When I walk, the whole earth shakes. I'm like,
Hey, yo, what's good, peoples? It's good, peoples. Welcome back to MVP Live Show. Next bus, please. I'm your host, your boy Blunt. And off the back, I gotta say, even though it's a nice rainy day, uh, sorry about missing last week. Your boy was down and out with some kind of bug I get every year around this time. Nothing that a little ginger ale and crackers couldn't handle, but I was out of it, so I just couldn't do it. Couldn't bring it to myself. So I was unable to celebrate with y'all last week. My boys, my boys. 53 years in waiting. The last time they wanted, yo, it's good, Pete. The last time they won a championship, I was just born. That's a long time ago. So I have to rock the shirt today. Give them a big shout out, even though the Nick hater fans are always going to be there. But it's okay because this is what we did. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's been a rather slow week when it comes to the news for transit. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things going on, but nothing that uh, really caught my eye as far as trying to report to you. But there are some things that I do want to talk about. And first and foremost, um, let me just say happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there that do what they're supposed to do and don't ask for anything. Happy belated Father's Day. Also, happy belated Juneteenth because I missed it. So, happy belated Juneteenth Day. Um, Also, there's a lot going on as far as other outside of MTA. Happy belated Puerto Rican Day parade, which man, I would have loved to go again one year. I was gonna go to the Knicks parade, but I'm glad I didn't because I would have been stranded out there on the island. There was just no way I was gonna get anywhere close to the parade. So I'm glad me and my sister chose not to actually go. And for those who celebrate Happy Belated Mermaid Day Parade. That's fun. That's always fun. Mermaid Day. Mermaid Parade. It's crazy out there in Coney Island. So we got those out the way. And speaking of Mermaid Day Parade, you guys may want to get yourselves ready to join the march. That's coming up on June 28th. That's a couple of days away. 6 days away, right? Yep. 6 days away. June 28th. You guys may want to go ahead and set aside and join the Pride March, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys will be doing. You guys could join Brooklyn Pete out there at the Pride March. Just say hi. Tell them I said what's up, and enjoy the day. That'll be June 28th, coming up on a Sunday. Wear your colors and wave them proudly. It should be fun. What's good, Mel? What's good, John? Appreciate you guys stopping by. Uh, we're gonna have the Pride March coming up June 28th. You guys enjoy yourselves. Let me know how it go. Again, when you see Brooklyn Pete out there, tell him I said what's up. Yeah. So anyway, in the MTA news, I Kathy Hochul, not even before we even get to the Kathy Hochul part, right? The FIFA Cup is in town, right? So the trains have started to what up, Will? Big June. The trains have started to wrap themselves with uh art that represents each country, which is kind of cool. Um, right? So let me share that with you guys because I ran into the article. Here we go. I'm gonna share the article with you guys so you guys can see. Right? Yep, might want to add that to the screen there and shift me over. Yeah, so you guys can see that. Maybe I should just take myself off the screen. Can I do that? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. If I take myself off the screen, can you guys still hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Nia, oh my God. Hi, baby. Miss you. You need to give me a call. Not right now, though. All right? When I finish in about an hour. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me when I'm off the screen, so I'm just going to leave myself on the screen. Where am I? I'm lost now. Here we go. Okay, so the FIFA World Championship, the MTA debuts trains celebrating different countries for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Basically graffiti, if you ask me, but let's hear what these. I don't really want to run this whole story, but we can run it, right? Hold on. There we go.
Specifically, New York City's plan to keep people and traffic moving during the games.
Yeah, the plan getting a lot of attention this afternoon. News 4's Kay Angram has some new information on the plan and the changes coming our way.
All right, the city is out with its World Cup blueprint for how it's handling traffic during game days, and let's just say it's nothing to sneeze at. Or should I say honk? All right, so right now we are on 42nd Street and 5th Avenue, and on match days, the entire stretch of 42nd Street from the East River to the Hudson River will become restricted bus and shuttle only lanes. Sorry, cars, that's not you. Don't even think about it, unless you're going to the game via shuttle or bus. Now look, there's more. Traffic will also pile up on 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue.
Yeah, so fuck, that's not what the fuck I wanted. Anyway, let's get to the article. In light of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, New York City is ringing the spirit of the tournament with country-inspired train wraps now rolling across the system. Some of you guys may have already seen this. I haven't yet because I don't travel in the subways, but I've seen some of the pictures that they have. So across all the 5 boroughs, train will represent each of the 48 countries competing in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The first FIFA World Cup 2026 branded trains representing, I'm not sure I'm going to say this right, but y'all know how I always chop names up, Senegal and France, or Senegal. Senegal or Senegal. You say tomato, I say tomato. Are already in service on the one line. Brazil and Morocco were wrapped and are now in service on the R line. Additional wraps trains are expected to roll out in the coming days and weeks as tournaments begin. So if you guys see any of these trains, while you could be making a relief or something, and you run into a train that comes into the station that's wrapped, do me a favor, take a picture, send it to the email, nbpliveshow@gmail.com. And I could post them up because I would like to see all of them. They said there's 48 of them, so I would like to see all of them. I think I've seen France already. It might be in one of these pictures here. Yeah, see, that's France, I think, right? Which one is this one? Yep, that's France. See, that's France down there. That looks pretty cool, right? But that kind of reminds me of when they used to do graffiti on the trains before they started the graffiti-proof trains. And they could have, I understand that they wrapped this up, but they could have got artists to do this, and I think they probably would have did a better job of representing the countries with the colors and stuff like that. So it says the initiative developed by the FIFA World Cup 2026 New York, New Jersey host committee with Mayor Mondani and the Metropolitan Transportation Authority is designed to bring energy into the city, prepared to welcome millions of visitors. I don't know what you guys think about that. I think that's pretty cool. When a train wrapped in the colors of Senegal pulls into Harlem, or a subway car carrying Morocco's flag rolls through Astoria, it tells a story about who we are as New Yorkers, Mondani said. Each train features the colors of each 48 competing nation flags alongside the Statue of Liberty torch, symbolizing New York City excitement and welcoming fans from around the world. The designs were created by Byrne and Broad, a New York City-based studio, which I like that. I like that he kept it in New York and he used a local business to do this. But again, he could have split that. He could have had some do with the Burning Broad, or he could have had some artists come and, you know, graffiti the trains in the style of the country that they represent. Because right, New York is a melting pot of diversity. So I'm pretty sure we have artists that can represent the 48 different nations, right? And you know, let them do their thing and get paid for it. And I know it would have came out way more beautiful. Even though this design here is actually really nice. I really like that. But I'm pretty sure the artist would have did something even better. So this World Cup would be the biggest and most inclusive tournament in history, and seeing the spirit of participating nations travel through the heart of New York City is a powerful symbol of the unity the games inspire, said Alex Lassery, CEO of the FIFA World Cup 2026. So yeah, I mean, I love the idea. You guys let me know what you think of the idea. I think it's actually pretty cool. So I would love to see I would love to see all the different I would love to see oh, I never left the screen. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I keep forgetting I have to do the transition. Thanks, Aaron. But yeah, so again, I would love to see all the 48 different subway cars. So if you happen to run into one, let me put up my email. That way you guys could have it on screen. Live show. I believe this is the right email at gmail.com. MEP. I think that's the right email, y'all. So, you know, if you happen to come across a train that is wrapped for the FIFA World Cup, please do me a favor. Take a picture. Let me know which country is representing, because I seen the France one. I want to see the other 47. And send it to my Gmail. If that doesn't work, just let me know. Give me, you know, hit me up. That's what I'm talking about. Wemby's a little bitch. Fuck that nigga. Fuck Wemby. Wemby crying. Little bitch ass nigga. Couldn't even shake nobody's hand after he got decimated. Bitch ass. That was, listen, if you haven't watched the series, I don't know what to tell you. But that was one of the best series ever. I mean, it was very stressful, but at the end, we found the way. And it's amazing that Atlanta was the only one that gave us the most challenge during this series. Atlanta. So that tells you who to look out for, because everybody else, we kind of steamrolled over them. And because of President Trump, we lost that one match in Madison Square Garden. I don't care what nobody says. It was his fault. Poopy Pants came and messed it up for us. We would have had a sweep at home. It would have been great. That would have been great. So yeah, again, guys, don't forget the Pride March coming on the 28th, right? Let's meet you guys, meet Mr. Pete out there, Brooklyn Pete out there, and you know, have a great time. On to other things, right? Kathy Hochul, that's what I was going to tell y'all. Kathy Hochul, right? She a lot of people, you know, when the Knicks started to get their role and made it into the conference finals and stuff like that, they decided to paint the train stations, you know, orange and blue, the colors of the Knicks, of course. And so at first they were going to, after the run, they was going to take it down and go back to the normal green color, ugly green. I don't know why they picked that color, but the fans were making some noise about that. They were saying, listen, y'all need to keep the stations the way they are. And so they were saying permanently, I would agree with that, you know, especially around the Garden. It should stay. At least each one could represent whatever team we have, like, you know, the Knicks, the Islanders, not the Islanders, sorry, that's Brooklyn. Not Brooklyn, that's Long Island, but you know what I mean. the Knicks, the Rangers. Who else we got that plays in the Garden? You know, each station could represent a team, but they should. I think it should be permanent, right? For me, anyway. He said he gonna be sure to pick me up. Right? Yeah. So yeah. So Kathy Hochul, she heard, she listened and she heard. And so now you see there, like in the background there, you can see that the station is orange and blue, you know. And so now she heard, she listened, she said she's gonna keep it at least until next year, until they do their run next year. So that would be nice. I think it's cool. It looks cool, right? Look at that. That looks beautiful. You know, I think it should stay that way, especially around MSG. I don't know what you guys think, but I love it. I love it. Especially. Come on. Y'all see the Timbs? Hold on, where's that? Over here. Y'all see the Timbs up there? They put the Timbs. If that don't represent New York, that should stay. I hope nobody don't vandalize it and take it off or whatever. You know how New York do. But I think the Timbs should stay. I love that part. That is so crazy. So yeah, like, yep. So there you go. There you have it. MTA. What does that say? I can't see because it's so small to me. It says MTA to keep viral Knicks theme New York City so it enters through 2026-2027 season. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think about that. I love it. I love the idea. Let me go back to that. Not that. To that Knicks. I'm gonna look it up on my screen because I think it's so cool that they put the Timbs. Somebody put the Timbs with the gold rope chain. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I hope they don't. I hope they don't vandalize the Timbs, man. I mean, but you know, New York is going to fuck it up, right? New York is going to fuck it. I just love the fact that they put the Timbs with the gold rope. That is so cool. And it's a matter of fact, we could go over the article. Let me remove this one. Stop that. We're gonna go over the article right now together because there's a whole big article on that. Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen with y'all, just so we can go back to here. Again, they always put me on the wrong side. All right, there we go. So the Knicks to keep viral theme from New York City, so it enters through 2026-2027. Let's do it. The Knicks are going nowhere. That's right. For the next 5 years, we're going to be bragging. So if you're a Knicks hater, sorry. You got to give us at least 5 years. We waited so long for this. So sorry, E-Crow. New York City Governor Kathy Hochul announced that the viral blue and orange 34th Street subway entrance will be kept as is through the end of next year's NBA season to keep the celebration going after the Knicks' historic finals win. Historic it was. The Madison Square Garden station was repainted in the Knicks iconic blue and orange scheme June 1st to honor New York team's first finals appearance since 1999. Don't remind me. Fans flocked to the station for the perfect photo op, with many telling the Post that the remodel should be permanent. And I agree. Hochul appeared to hear the public's pleas and Wednesday announced that the station's decorations will remain through the end of the 2026-2027 NBA season when the Knicks defend their coveted title. There you have homie taking a picture. I want one. If I'm ever, I don't like going to the city, but if I'm ever around there, I'm definitely gonna take a picture. Hopefully the paint lasts, but I want the one with the Timbs. As we prepared to immortalize the Knicks team, this was before, in the Canyon of Heroes, that was, it is fitting that we preserve this iconic subway entrance into next season to keep the celebrations going. The subway and the Knicks are two of New York's most cherished institutions. The subway, I think that's a bit of a reach, huh? The subway, cherished institution. Are you what? Okay, I digress. And now fans headed to the Garden to see the reigning champs will receive an orange and blue welcome to every game. And that's what I like about it. Like when you get there, you're gonna see that. So Oscar-winning director and Knicks mega fan Spike Lee flanked Hochul as she made the declaration. Both were decked out in Knicks gear. Nothing but orange and blue skies all around us. Of course, Lee's gonna say that. I love the Timbs. I love. That is so New York, though. Yeah, so New York City will be fun again. Fun again? Okay. MTA chair and CEO Janet Lever teased that the preserving of the theme entrance will boost the mojo that led the Knicks to the victory. The MTA also run a specially designated K train. Oh, word? I didn't know that. Y'all didn't tell me that? I'm just finding this out. The MTA will also run a special designated K train for the Knicks ticker tape parade Thursday. Wow, that's cool. The K train will start operations at 7 a.m. with stops stretching from 168th Street to the World Trade Center. Man, I wish I would have known that. Thursday's ticker tape parade will process down the frame. Will proceed. I think I just had a stroke. The Thursday ticker tape parade will process down the process. Am I saying that right? Why? Y'all process down the famed Canyon Heroes and is projected to be the city's largest parade ever. They weren't kidding about that. Festivities officially kick off in downtown Manhattan at 10 a.m., but access points will be open at least 4 hours earlier, which didn't mean anything because I was supposed to get there. I was supposed to go to Houston and Duane and then walk over to Broadway. And I was supposed to be there about 8 a.m., which would have meant nothing because it was already crowded. People had slept overnight. I think that's it for that. So I would have just been wasting my time and, going over there on a Cessna ride, I would have been stuck there for whenever I would have told them to pick me up, which would have been about 12:30 because the parade is supposed to be over around 11. So I would have stayed till about 12:30 just to be sure I don't miss anything. And I would have been stuck out there. So there you go. Says, hold on. Did you mention the bitch that dumped the Knicks garbage can? Oh, yeah. So yeah, she took it home. For those who don't know what we're talking about, there was a lady who went out there and she saw the Knicks garbage can that was painted orange and blue. She decided to dump the garbage can and she took the garbage can home. I'm a fan. I'm never a fanatic, right, of anything. I'm always a fan of certain things, but I'm never at the level of a fanatic, right? That's fanatic. That is fanatic. Why would you? And those garbage cans are heavy. They're not light. Why would you take a garbage can? Like I understand you want what do they call those? Souvenir, right? But to take a garbage can and then what? And then what? Now you got this big heavy ass garbage can in your house. What? Unless you're gonna put it out in the street, like in front of you. That don't make no sense to me. It's just yeah. It's just what up, Primo? What's good, man? How we doing today, bro? Much love, my brother. Appreciate you stopping in. It's crazy how people go crazy over shit like that. I can't. I'm like, one of my things, I love Godzilla, I love Star Wars, anything sci-fi, I'm a big fan of. But I'm never at the point where a fanatic, right? I don't know. I don't get that much into anything. So it is what it is. But yeah, so Kathy Hochul is gonna keep that for us, which I love. I love the fact that she's doing that. I think that it should remain permanent. I mean, even if they don't win next year, it's still what they did this year was nothing short of amazing, and it should be always celebrated. And so I believe that those stations near MSG should stay orange and blue, or red and blue to represent the Rangers too. The Rangers did their thing too. They've been doing their thing for the longest. So it just makes the city that much more lively. We really don't do stuff like that, right? So we should partake in that. I think that's good. And now, speaking of the city, there's a problem that's just not going to go away, and that is automation, right? They're still planning on doing automated buses. I don't know about you guys, but I don't see that doing too well here in the city. Maybe in smaller towns, right? That might work out. Hold on. Maybe in smaller towns that might work out, but here in New York, I just see a lot of lawsuits coming. I see people jumping in front of these things, causing accidents or glitches. There was a glitch not too long ago with one of the Tesla vehicles where it was just going in circles by itself, just knocking things over. It was like stuck. It was glitched out. And so, you got to worry about things like that. And the fact that, this city is supremely crowded, it's a very big hazard. You know what I mean? Yes. So Knicks parade was phenomenal. However, all of the Johnny come late fans, some of the fans were not born when the New York Knicks won the championship. Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, on the Knicks bandwagon. I already, I posted on my Facebook, the bus already left. Sorry, some of y'all may have seen the video I made where the bus driver pulled up when he had the door behind him. Those were the new buses. He has the door behind the driver, and he's like, "Sorry, capacity." All the new Knicks fans, sorry, nope. And he left them on the curb. So yeah, that was that. But the automation, here we go. So, with the automated buses and stuff like that, again, that's not going away. I have the president, Jano Lieber. I'm not sure I'm saying his name correct. Jano Lieber. He had something to say about that. He kind of goes off a little bit to the left, but I want you guys to listen to what he has to say, because the problem of automation ain't going to go away. I doubt very much that it's going to happen in the city, but they've tried little trials here and there, not with buses, but like little vehicles and stuff like that. And I don't think that worked out too well, and I don't think it's going to work out too well if they try automated buses. But here's what Jano Lieber had to say about it. Check this out.
This is a subject very near and dear to my heart, just like everybody else here, and we should all be very concerned. I have a little scripture to share with you. So Matthew 9:36, the harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. We have a lot of immigrants in Local 100. We are a union of immigrants. Everybody in this room is an immigrant, but unless you're a Native American, and I'm not sure if you are, but if you are the original Americans. So let's start there. We are going to lose approximately 2,000 people. I have a 44,000 member union, about 40,000 in transit. We're about to lose 2,000 people because of what was done by the federal government. So that's just an appetizer. If that happens over the next year, how are we going to move people in New York City. Nobody's talking about that. So when you talk about automation and AI, that's been around for 12 years already. What happened is these industries have just turned the valve on all at once, and they're flooding us. And so what do? We either sink and drown, or we rise up and float and fight. So how do we fight? What does the fight look like? We don't accept this. As a people, we don't accept what they're putting out there. I'm here for the working people of New York and my members. That's what I preach. That's what I do. I worry about keeping our people employed. And we are on the cusp of something very, very horrible. People are all excited about SpaceX, Uber, and we're all investing in it, whether you know it or not. And everybody's laughing all to the bank. Oh, I made 25%, I made 50%. You're just taking money on your future. They are drowning us. Our children don't know what to do. We're buying them $1,200 phones. We're letting them run roughshod all over the street. They're all smoking dope because it's cool and it's above the law. When I grew up, my parents, when I came home and I did something bad and the teacher sent a note home, they beat the hell out of me. And you know what? I remember so clearly that I didn't want to get beat up anymore. I didn't call the cops. I didn't say my teacher. I said, well, the teacher's bad. I said, the teacher's bad. You're an idiot. Why'd you do that? And I remembered that. And I didn't want to come home, so I started studying. And my father said to me, and I'll never forget this as I'm sitting in this chair, he said to me, you're not the smartest guy. You're in 8th grade. What do you plan on doing with your life? I said, I really don't know. He goes, well, you're 13 years old. You're not going to get an allowance anymore. So what do you plan on doing? I said, honest to God, I didn't think about it. So I started asking my friends. They said, go into vocational school. I did not know what the word vocational meant. I did not know what the word vocational meant. You like to fix cars? I said, yeah, I do. I went to Grady High School. And as fate would have it, a teacher took me under his wing, Norman Anderson, and he said, you like fixing appliances? I said, I don't know. I said, I guess.
It's enough of that shit. I mean, he's going off on some other shit, but he was talking about in the beginning about the automations and stuff like that, and he's going to be fighting against it. Which, okay, I agree with that. I don't want to see our bus operators lose a job to technology. I mean, there's some aspects to the job that are going to be lost to technology, and I don't think bus operators or operations should be one of them. You know, you can see, and I don't agree with it on trains either, but you know, our airports and stuff already have automated trains. You know, I can see that happening. I don't agree with it, but I can see where that can happen because those things are on rails and you just need somebody to monitor with the opening and closing and stuff like that. But also for us in New York, it's more down to the safety aspect of having those two individuals, the operator and the conductor, down there to monitor things. But I can see that happening in trains. But again, I'm not for that. I'm totally against it, and I don't want to see any MTA worker lose their job to technology. But that's just how this world works, you know. As when I was a movie theater manager, the projection booth, the projector, the guys who run the projectors, they lost their jobs to technology. Once everything started going digital, there was nothing left for them to do, you know. So they were getting good money, and all of a sudden, they're out of a job because all you need is one person to stick a DVD in and press play. You don't need to pay somebody $28 an hour to do that, and so they end up losing their job, and that's just one instance of how technology can take over a job. Now, I felt bad for them. Not only did I feel bad for them because they lost their job, because then that job became my job. And even before they started doing the digital stuff, they had us working as projectionists. slash managers. So they was phasing their job out way before that, and which was pissed me off and made me go into MTA. So kind of thanked them for that. But I mean, that's just how it goes. And hopefully that doesn't ever happen in New York. Because I just don't see it. It's just too many factors that goes against automation to have it work properly here in New York. Maybe in small towns and small villages, like, I don't know, Idaho or some shit like that. Something small, they could probably get away with it, but not in a big city like New York. Speaking of big cities like New York, where is it? Did I put it up here? Yeah, hold on. Oh, I always do this. I always forget to upload one of the things I'm talking. This was a last minute thing, but one of the things that Mayor Mondani, oh my God, why? One of the things that Mayor Mondani, so I'm trying to log into, it keeps logging me out my account, so I have to fucking do this bullshit. One of the things that Mayor Mondani was campaigning about was free buses, right? And that just got a major blow to his campaign promise, because I believe, hold on, I'm trying to pull up the article right now, but I got to go through all these goddamn hoops to get back in. It keeps logging me out my account. Hold on, 6. Right. Yeah, I'm trying to do two things at once. He promised on his campaign was to go for free buses. And right now, one of the cities that was doing the experiment for like 6 years just changed their mind. Here we go. Let me bring it up for you real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes it just, there we go. Sometimes I just forget to do things at the last minute. Okay. And here we go. Let me share that up to one side. All right, that's ready. Here we go. A city that inspired Mondani is bringing back bus fares. So, yep, he messed up. Am I on the right side? Yeah. Okay. So, check this out. New York Bloomberg, just as free buses gain new political champions, the city that helped popularize the idea is abandoning it. Kansas City reinstated bus fares this month after 6 years, unwinding a closely watched experiment that inspired zero-fare transit campaigns across the U.S., including New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani's. That's messed up. So here's what happened. Transit officials in Missouri City say the zero-fare program became difficult to sustain after the expiration of federal COVID pandemic relief funds that had helped offset its costs for several years. While the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority initially estimated it would forego about $8.8 million annually in fare revenue, the agency says the true cost of operating the zero-fare system grew roughly $15 million a year, partially due to unanticipated expenses and inflation. And this is Kansas City. Kansas City, I don't know what the size difference, I'm pretty sure it's nowhere near New York City, but if you think they're having problems now, shit. As we ran out of the money and the support, we were forced either to make more services cuts or move to fares to support those services, said Tyler Means, Chief Mobility and Strategy Officer at KCATA. I guess that's Kansas City Authority Transit or something. The transit agency decision carries lessons for other cities, but some zero-fare transit advocates caution against drawing broader conclusions. They say money was spent elsewhere that could have gone to free buses and that the city is undercutting ridership increases seen under the program. I hope that other entities don't see Kansas City as an example of fare-free policy not being able to work, said Joel Mendez, a professor at the University of Kansas who has studied the program. So he feels like they kind of messed up. They shot themselves in the foot, right? Because, like he said, they're allocating monies going elsewhere that could have went to their free buses. So that could be a problem. So competing priorities. The end of free buses comes just as Kansas City welcomes World Cup fans. Mayor Quentin Lucas has touted temporary shuttle buses as well as another transit mode, a free 7-mile streetcar that runs between downtown and other popular destinations such as the riverfront and museums. Meanwhile, riders on the city's regular buses are being charged a fare again, up to $2 from $1.50 before the free program. Riders 65 and older, as well as eligible low-income residents, can pay a reduced fare of $1. So Tom Guerin, executive director of the nonprofit Kansas City Streetcar Authority, says the streetcar is vital for regional tourism and helps bring riders to downtown and major destinations. The streetcar is funded directly from the KCATA buses through a voter-approved sales tax, parking assessments, and federal funding. It runs fare-free to minimize dwell times and maximize the economic benefits it generates for riders in the corridor it serves, says Mayor Lucas in an email statement adding that the streetcar is built to serve a different purpose. So yeah, I mean, that's a big blow to Mayor Mondani's plan for free buses. I don't think it necessarily deads it altogether, but it's a big blow that they coming back out of it. And as you can see, they were getting subsidized by the COVID fund. So I'm trying to remember what I read about his plan, Mondani's plan for New York City's free fare-free buses. And I don't think it included anything from the pandemic, any kind of funds from the pandemic. I believe he had other kind of resources and means to get the money for that. But you know what? I'll say give it a try. I don't know if it's gonna work, but give it a try. Maybe start with the lines that don't pay any fucking way, like the 43, the 43. Or the shuttle buses to JFK. Make those free. And see how that works. I know it's less headache for the operators. When they don't have to pay, when passengers don't have to pay, it's less headache for the operators. You just get in, sit your butt down, and let's get you to where you're going. A lot of times you don't have to deal with people pulling out 1 million MetroCards and standing right there trying to figure out which one has the money on it, because that they found all those MetroCards. Some of them sometimes have money on it, and they constantly dip and hold up the line, or people not having their MetroCards ready when they see the bus coming a mile away, and they wait till they get on the bus to want to dig in their wallet or dig in their pants and look for the MetroCard. All that stuff takes time, and it takes away from the schedule. So them not having to pay just makes life a lot easier for everybody around. Sometimes you got people who pay and there's a discrepancy on their card and they get charged again. That's something the bus operator can't do anything about, but yet they want to stand there and argue with the operator about it. And it just happens sometimes. The system is not flawless. There's plenty of flaws in it. Or some people who are supposed to get a transfer and they use their card, and instead of a transfer, it takes their money out. That's a problem. not the operator's problem. He can't do anything about it. That's something you have to take out with Omni and MTA. So free buses means less headache for operators. So I'm aboard. I'm on board with that. But at the same time, I don't want the MTA to be able to say they don't have money like they always do, especially on contract time. They always sit there and they say, "Oh, we don't have money for raises, this, that, and third," when they have plenty of money. So yeah, I don't. That's the only thing I'm against if it comes to free buses, right? Other than that, I'm all for it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Let me just make sure I covered everything. Next, Prime March. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to say before I go that I wanted to I wanted to thank everybody before I leave. As you know, I did have a fundraiser that was going on because of my scooter. So the scooter what I was talking about in my fundraiser, it's a very good scooter, very well built, but I didn't know that the seat that came with it would hurt my back the way it does. And the reason I say that because it's built like a bike seat, and it's almost the same design as the bike seat that I put on my mountain bike back when I was riding my bike, when I was able to ride a bike. It had a hard seat, and I changed it to almost the same kind of seat that's on my scooter, and it was a very, very comfortable seat. But that was before I had the surgeries and stuff. Now with the surgery and riding that scooter for any length amount of time over 10, 15 minutes, I start to feel it in my back and my backside. And so I dealt with it for a couple of years, and I was like, I just got to get a new scooter. And fortunately, I wasn't in a position to just go outright and buy one. Medicaid does. Some people ask, doesn't Medicaid supply you with scooter? They do, but the scooters that they supply you with are mostly for in the house, to stay in the house, to get around the house, or not for any kind of outside long travel. You could probably go to the store and come back, but that's about it. They're not meant to be, traveled in long distances and stuff. So, and the quality, it's Medicaid. What you think? You're gonna get a beautiful scooter. It's Medicaid. So, in order for me to get a scooter that fits me, I have to pay for it. Which my first scooter that I was talking about, I paid for. I paid $1,100 for that scooter, and again, it's still very good. I have it here, but I needed something that didn't hurt my back and my backside when I use it. And thanks to you guys, after contemplating putting up for a GoFundMe for the longest, over a year, I put it up, and and you guys all responded. So I'm thanking you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm very humbled by it. I have the scooter. I posted on my Facebook page and my TikTok page the unboxing of it and putting it together and testing it out, and it's beautiful. Got silver rims. I'm sitting on tubes, baby, sitting on tubes, and works just perfectly, and it doesn't hurt my back when I ride. My back feels supported, my bottom feels good. So I thank you guys again for that. I appreciate it. Everyone who donated, everyone thought about me and shared it and stuff like that. And you will be seeing me every time I ride that scooter. It's because of you guys. Again, I'm super humbled. I'm happy that people care enough to donate. Thank you. And I'm gonna end it with that because I'm hungry and I gotta cook. I'm still single. Shit. But yeah, let's go, Knicks. We are champions, whether you like us or not. And no, you can't. Maybe next year we'll take applications, but right now we good. So thank everybody for watching. I appreciate you watching me. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. And with that, I appreciate So, see you guys next Monday, and fuck them if they can't take a joke. Later.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.